Hey, Jim Distortion here doing a daily short. I'm in the studio rather than the van today because it's warm and it's cold outside. I wanted to talk to you about emotion, clouding arguments, clouding judgment, clouding everything you do in life. As previously stated, I'm quite an angry person. I'm quite a person who, if you've annoyed me, I can't hide it really. If I'm in a situation that winds me up, if I'm in a place that makes me angry, you'll know. And I don't mean that people are in danger or, I'm going to react badly, but I will probably become clippy and a bit short with them because that's my own personal failing. But it's also a defense mechanism as well against people who bring too much emotion into a situation. Say you're having an argument with a friend of yours and it's healthy, it's a healthy argument. You see two sides of a different argument, but one person is emotionally invested and the other one isn't. So to the person who isn't invested, it's simply that you're just having a conversation, be it a little bit more forceful than normal. The emotionally invested person probably has some experience that has clouded their ability to leave emotion on the side of this conversation. Emotion is a dangerous thing. If something makes you sad and you have a conversation about it, then 9 times out of 10 that conversation will make you sad. If you have a conversation about a subject that makes you angry, then that anger will manifest itself as part of the conversation, the argument. And then that argument becomes untenable because one person is more angry than the other and will be more forceful about it. So therefore both sides don't get seen. So what is what you say? Well, I'll tell you this. Maybe something that means something to you, you're actually being detrimental to that person or that situation because you cannot explain it without using anger and without driving that point home, being too forceful or not even considering the other side of the argument. And if you do that, that's going to be negative to your own cause. Case in point, Jordan Peterson. If you don't know who Jordan Peterson is, every man should know who Jordan Peterson is because it gives me hope. He is a free thinker, a radical thinker. Has been described by people as the intellectual or a member of a group that are now called the intellectual dark web. Basically what happened is he took on his government about free speech. He's Canadian government. He's a doctorate. He has a doctorate. He's a professor. He's a clinical psychologist. He is somebody that can think outside of any box that you and I sit in. And GQ sent a feminist to basically, I think they sent this feminist in to shut him up or something, or to try and make him, detract from his aura. This guy puts on shows in front of 1,000 to 5,000 people who go and pay to see him. He's come more or less out of nowhere since 2015 when he took on his own government and basically won. So, now this free thinker is basically telling it how it is. And the feminist talks about a patriarchal society, which is why women are oppressed. And he puts forward an amazing point that, the patriarchal society that you're talking about, men are much more in danger than the women are. If you add in, prison rape, that's more about men and than it is about women. Also, male suicide, there's a lot more. Male homelessness, there's a lot more. All of these things. This is not the argument I am getting into. But he then basically, systematically and calmly takes apart this feminist who gets more and more flustered and more angry because she simply cannot deal with his intellect. When you're outmatched. If you're having a boxing match and you're in a ring, with someone who is obviously better than you, or 10 times bigger than you, or 10 times faster than you're going to lose. There's nothing you can do about that. And if you get angry, that will just exacerbate that situation. So that conversation is the same as this. Now, do go and see the GQ interview with Jordan Peterson. You'll do yourself a favour, male or female. Look at the actual reality of the situation, okay? And I will talk more about patriarchal society one day because it interests me. Understand this. If you want to put your case, your case against something or for something, if you can take emotion out of the way, then you can clearly, concisely, and eruditely give a proper explanation of your point. If you get angry, you're going to stutter. You're going to get angry. It's going to take over what you do. And if you lose yourself to that kind of emotional defeat, then you won't do your cause any good. If you can sit in front of somebody else and calmly discuss the rights and wrongs as you see it, then the person across the desk from you will have, one, more respect for you, so therefore is more likely to listen to what you're saying. See my podcast from yesterday about the art of conversation. Also, you will be in a position, to understand what they're saying and understand their side of the argument. And therefore, you may be able to have enough space to think about a cognitive argument for that. An argument that actually has substance instead of you're wrong, you're wrong. You can't live your life shouting at somebody that they're wrong. And if you do, then you're going to be laughed at or maligned in some way. If you're able to put forward a calmness, a gentility, Now bear in mind, look at the size of me, I'm 6'2", I'm enormous, I have an enormously wide beard, which is going very grey. Right? People are intimidated by me, so immediately I have to change the way I talk about things. I have been accused of being aggressive to a point of violence on times when all I thought I was doing was strongly talking about a point. So this comes from experience, right? I'm telling you the truth of the matter. If you're in a position where you're putting forward your point vociferously, you really want people to understand, then do it calmly. Use a calm voice, sit back in your chair. If I sit back in my chair, I'm too far away. But if you want to make a point, take yourself outside of your emotional values. Take yourself away from stupidity, if you like. Take your way out of finding your emotions making your comments for you. Because if you do that, you're going to be A, more believable, B, more understandable, C, more available to understand the other person's side of things. And if you can have an understanding of both sides of an argument, you're already winning. It's not always about winning and losing. But you see what I mean? For the purpose of this conversation, if you can see all sides of it and take emotion out of the way, you are more likely to be able to offer some kind of answer, some kind of, reason, some kind of, you find an ability to answer what they're saying with your own points, instead of being so flustered that you're banging your head against the wall. It was just a thought. How many of you today have had a criticism thrown at you and you wanted to smash that person to pieces, or you wanted to smash up your desk because of it, frustration? What if you'd have come back with a slow comment, not a slow comment, you come back quickly with a well thought out quip, with a beautiful answer? How often have you thought, crap, I wish I'd said that? Take the time to think about what you're saying, and you can do that. Take the emotion out of what you're saying, and you can do that. You don't have to become Mr. Monotone. Obviously, you can have inference in your voice. You can have stresses and loud and soft. Don't let emotion rule your head. Portray who and what you want to be, not what your emotions tell you to be. All right, that's my point. Jim Distortion doing Daily Short for Distortion's Got Issues. Find the button. Press the button for subscribe. If you don't agree with what I'm saying, argue with me. Leave a comment. Tell me why I'm wrong, or tell me why I'm right, because I like to hear that I'm right sometimes. But basically, I want to be a conduit for conversation. So leave a comment, and I will validate it by answering. All right, see you soon.